Okay, so this will be a continuation in my series, The Truth Shall Come Out Volume 3, starring Kristaps Porzingis. As he's finally kind of realizing the star does not shine as bright outside of New York. And I believe this is the very first time I'm seeing the slogan, once a Knick, always a Knick, not actually being applied to a former Knick, at least for the time being. And Kristaps Porzingis right now is slowly showing some regrets, and he's slowly trying to, come back into the arms of Knicks fans, at least, in good terms. And also understand that there is a monetary benefit for former Knicks players. As I covered before, Larry Johnson even stating to this day that he still collects checks out of his 4-point play as a Knick. So Kristaps is the first player I've seen that really can't monetize, especially after retirement, off of his Knicks days, but he's slowly working his way back. But anyway, he was asked about it. You guys check it out.
Is this evolution been weird? When you mentioned it, the Bulls are less than they used to be, and with that thing where some fans are asking you to actually come back. Is this evolution just whole weird right now?
A little bit,
Okay.
but I think, I think it's just, the way the trade happened. Like I did some dumb stuff, like some cryptic tweets and.
Yeah, you definitely did the cryptic tweets, and that's why my series is named after exactly what you said. The truth shall come out. And this is definitely volume 3 of that series. But also you listen to your brother, who today is nowhere to be found. That's very interesting.
What was that? The whole process was just a mess, So I didn't like the way things ended. That wasn't like how I wanted it to end, if it did end, And then it's just, I kind of try to stay myself throughout this whole time, not do anything, not say anything. If I should have said anything, it was right after I got traded. Now it's
What you did. You criticized the Knicks recovery process. You did when you went to Dallas. I also covered that. That was in the volume 2 of this series. I'll link the videos below. But definitely KP criticized the way that the Knicks, kind of helped his rehab situation, that it wasn't quote unquote ideal. But unfortunate for Kristaps, once again, he realized the star does not shine as bright outside of New York, as Jeremy Lin also found that out also. But the Knicks were going through a chaotic time. He was at a young point in his career, but the situation was kind of handled wrong on both sides. I would have to admit that.
It's too late, and I think now maybe fans are easing up on me and kind of understanding that it was what it was at that moment, and I was young, and I got traded, and of course I was hurt, and that's why I put some dumb tweets out there or whatever I did.
You was hurt, and you was also trying to get your money. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but going back when Kristaps was hurt, that's when David Fizdale first got hired. Nobody knew what was going on, and it was really, all of us, we were kind of skeptical when Fizdale had mentioned that he hadn't seen KP and he had no idea where he was in his rehab. And Mark Cuban had also made comments about KP, about when he came to Dallas, he was disappointed to see where he was at in his rehab. Things were very secretive. KP was overseas, doing his rehab. It was really awkward. He was also eligible for an extension. The Knicks weren't really too keen on giving him his money without seeing how he recovered from that major injury that he had. It's very unfortunate.
But I think people are starting to maybe forgive me a little bit, and we're moving past that.
Yeah, and hopefully fans do forgive you. But at the end of the day, the Knicks, they were going through a turmoil situation, especially with Melo and Phil Jackson going back and forth. Then the Charles Oakley incident, and people don't take that into consideration. The way the Knicks treated their, a former loved Garden player, carrying him out in the Garden like that, it kind of showed KP, the franchise. They were shitting on Melo. They were shitting on Charles Oakley. It's like, this is how they treat their players. It's kind of understandable why he wanted to leave, but it's just the way he handled it with the cryptic tweets, especially with his brother getting in the way. But it is what it is. Hopefully, KP can slowly work his way back in, and I think we should accept him back in. But one thing we do know for sure is that star does not shine as bright outside of New York, boy.